Hey, good morning, everybody. I know I haven't done a very good job of the daily postings that I was doing up into February, but I just with everything going on in the world, I wanted to do. I'm not going to commit to every day anymore. I just think it proved to be just too hard in my life, and I don't want to disappoint. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to read two tonight, and they're very related, and I just think it goes towards I think what we need to hear a little bit as we head into some of these next few days and weeks and months. And I know there's lots of people who basically want to be held and told everything's going to be okay. And I think there's plenty of people who say that in the world, and I just want to take a little bit different tack tonight. So I'm going to read two things as always. So we have Daily Reflections for Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And I'm reading, if some of you are following along, I know. So I want to read you the January 29th entry. And what he writes is, the word proactive means more than merely taking initiative. It means that as human beings, we are responsible for our own lives. Our behavior is a function of our decisions, not our conditions. We can subordinate feelings to values. We have the initiative and the responsibility to make things happen. So the second part of the reading comes from Napoleon Hill's Positive Action Plan, but I'm reading from a different date. I'm reading from February 2nd. And so what he writes for that is, act on your own initiative, but be prepared to assume full responsibility for your acts. One of the primary differences between those who achieve great things in their lives and those who manage only to get by is that successful people learned early in life that they were responsible for their own actions. No other person can make you successful or keep you from achieving your goals. Taking the initiative means assuming a leadership role, a position that singles you out for praise and for criticism. The good leader is the one who shares the credit for success with others and assumes full responsibility for failures or temporary setbacks. When you accept responsibility for your actions, you gain the respect of others and are well on the way to creating your own future. So there's just a couple of key points that I take away from these readings, and they've really become core pillars of how I go through my life and how I have really for the last 5 or 6 years. And I just want to go through those with you. The first one here is that we are responsible for our own lives. I think that's a critical belief that we all have to have inside ourselves and start our days with that. I'm responsible for how this day is going to go today and how I respond to it and what I take away from it. The other one is our lives really are a function of our decisions and not our conditions. One is proactive and aggressive and moving forward, and the other is almost defeatist, and that is that, well, I'm here, I'm in this condition, I can't do anything to get out of it, there's nothing I can do, I'll wait for something. And I think many times we don't even know what we're waiting on. It's just something, waiting for something to happen, waiting for something good to come to us, waiting for something bad to come to us. And I would just suggest to you that start this morning, no matter what's in front of you or how bad you feel, to dump those feelings of despair and anguish and melancholy and defeat, and replace those with determination and grit and planning and forethought. What do you want to get done today, this week, this month? The siege that we're under now with the virus, and more importantly, I think our reaction to it, it will get by us, whether it be 2 months from now or 6 months from now. But certainly sitting here a year from today, it will be behind us and we'll be facing other challenges. So take today and really think through it. Really start putting the hard decisions on paper, the hard actions, start prioritizing. It doesn't mean we have to pull triggers today, but let's begin the conversations that surround the really hard decisions we're going to have to make over the next few weeks and months, and begin planning and preparing for those decisions. Start having conversations, start getting other people aware of what might happen. Get ahead of this thing. And this thing is whatever it is in your life. You have to decide what the 5 or 10 decisions are that really you're going to have to make to change your life to improve them. But get them on a list and start working through them in a priority order. I suggest picking the ugly ones first, doing the harder ones first, because then each one gets easier, as opposed to the other way around where we tend to put the easiest ones first. And that way every step we take puts us in front of a harder step. And that's a pretty emotionally difficult thing to do. Okay, so the last concept here, the one that I think to me, just matters the most, taking us to the next step, is the way the second reading ended. When you accept responsibility for your actions, you are well on your way to creating your own future. And I learned years ago that you can predict your future by creating it. So what do you want your future to look like? And it may be further out than you want it to be. And I think that's the biggest problem I see in the world today, is we want it by the end of this year. And that may be possible for some of the things we want, but for most it's probably not. And maybe we're older than we think we should be to fight this battle or keep fighting it. And, all those are emotions, and they really honestly don't mean anything. So what do you want your life to look like? What do you want changed 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now? What do you want your life to look like? And what changes do you need to make to get moving? Really take care of your own future. And again, make those hard decisions and start taking those hard actions. And I would suggest starting it today. Many people are working from home or not working. So put those plans in place. And it might mean career changes. It might mean job changes. It might mean relocating. I don't know. There's no way I could sit here and try to talk through individual problems or issues. But sitting there worried is the worst thing we could be doing. So again, I just put this out there. I know there's a lot of softness in the world today, and frankly, I don't know if that really helps. Hand-wringing and group worrying and complaining and finger-pointing and anger and frustration, whether it be on whatever social vehicle you're on, really doesn't help anything. But sitting down and really thinking through, doing the hard work of what's wrong and what are the possible solutions, and how do I start working towards them, and what steps can I take today? Who do I start talking to? What motions do I start putting in play? Not for today, but maybe for weeks or months from now. But start now. Start today. I hope this helps. It changed my life when I started doing this, and I've been doing it probably for 10 or 20 years now. And it changed my life. It changed where I am today by changing those thoughts and those future predictions, by creating my future each year. And I'll talk about this on the next video, but the important thing now is to start also building momentum, to stop switching tracks, to make good decisions the best you can make, and then stick with them and move forward as best you can. Because every time we switch careers, tracks, jobs, locations, spouses, families, whatever, every time we do that, it arrests the momentum of our life, and we start over. And I've gotten several people talking to me about, they've made several job changes, and now what do I do? So that'll be another video, but work towards building momentum in your life year over year. That's it, guys. Have a great day. Good luck. I know it's a huge fight out there right now. I don't know what else to do but try to help on a daily basis. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.